There was this one night, I was walking home from school after playing basketball for a couple of hours, as I did every single day. It was the middle of 2018, it was primary school. And when I'm walking home, I come across some roadworks with a bunch of cones laid out. And these cones pique my eye, and I'll tell you why in a minute. At this point in my life, I was 12 years old and I had very big ambitions of playing in the NBA one day. I literally told myself, if I was not in the league out of high school, I would. Myself. I knew exactly how I was going to do it, how I was going to do this. Had an exact plan. I told all my teachers that I'd make it out of the school, I'd become a great. I told all my friends I'd make it. I told my parents that I'd retire them. And I, most importantly, promised myself that I would do it. So I had to. So I'm looking at these cones on my way home, and I'm like, these cones would be perfect for my training. You know, so I can dribble around them, use them as defenders, drill with them. So I go to steal one and put it in my bag. But one of the workers stops me and he's like, mate, what are you doing? What are you doing stealing cones? And I told him, I'm gonna be in the NBA one day. Can I use one of these for my training? Just one. But he said, no, mate, it's fucking illegal to steal cones. Fuck off, go home, do whatever. I go home, and a few days later, or a week later, I can't exactly remember, the cones are still there, but the workers aren't there this time. So I grab a cone, I put it in my bag, and I take it home. And I might do this once or twice a week, grab a cone, take it home, just so I can use them one day when I'm drilling. And one night, I go home, I walk through my front door, and because the cone's just a bit too big for my bag, the cone sticks up. There's like an orange point coming out of my bag. I walk through my front door and my parents are there, just coincidentally. And they find out that I have a cone in my bag, and I try to explain them why I grabbed it. But then they see that I had 5 cones stacked in my room from getting them beforehand. So they pop my basketballs. So I can't play basketball anymore, which really pissed me off. I argued with them, and because I got them really angry, they were finally honest with me. They were the first ones to ever doubt my dreams. Everyone else was really optimistic about it. The teachers had to be. My friends thought they could do it too, so they were optimistic about it. But my parents were the first ones to ever say, Jack, you're a random kid from Australia. You're competing with kids who are training 6, 7, 8 hours a day, who were literally bred for this game. How do you expect yourself to compete with them? Play basketball for fun, but professionally? I don't know. But something at the back of my mind told me that I could do it. Something. So I listened to the voice. I do house chores for like 4 or 5 hours a day. Like I just do anything I can to earn the money back to buy a new basketball. Just like a Kmart ball or something like that, really something simple. I end up getting my basketball maybe a week later. And when I do get my ball back, I post a video on Instagram of me dribbling. This was like the 2nd or 3rd post I've done. But the video, it didn't go viral, but it got some views. It was pretty above average. I had like 300 followers, and I think the post got like 300 likes, which was a pretty good ratio, right? And it ended up reaching the NBL MVP of the 2016-17 season, somehow. I don't know how it got to him. And he followed me and he said I had like sick handles. And this was the guy I looked up to because he was 5'9" and he won MVP of the basketball league in my country, the NBL. So I didn't give a fuck what my parents said anymore. I had the approval of the guy I looked up to the most, besides Kyrie Irving. I knew I could do it. The high was higher than ever. You know, I'd be staring at my window on the way to basketball games, on the way to school. You know, imagining myself in the NBA, I wouldn't really talk to people because I was so in my own head. When TikTok came out, I wouldn't be able to scroll on TikTok because once in, every 5 posts, a really motivational song would come on, because that was like my For You page. And I would just get stuck in fantasy land, imagining myself in the league. All I did was imagine myself in the NBA for like 2 years, because I genuinely thought it was possible, like 100%. But as I got a little bit older, I'd say when I turned about 14, the teachers were a bit more realistic. My friends were a little bit more realistic because their parents were more realistic with them, so they gave up on their dreams. Everyone was being a bit more realistic now. So the doubts started coming in. I'd have these really high highs where I felt really, really confident. I played a good game. I got a compliment of someone who I looked up to. But then I'd feel like absolute shit when like a teacher would say that, you're not gonna make it, mate. You're from a fucking random high school in Australia. At least move to a basketball school if you want that to happen. When things like that would happen, I'd have the lowest low. So I was never in the middle. I was never like, oh, maybe I'll make the NBA, maybe I won't make it. It was either I'm gonna make it 100% or I'm not gonna make it 0%. And I'm only saying that because I don't know if anyone else can relate to it, if you're ambitious. I feel like it's either, it's like 100% I'm gonna make it, or it's like 0% I'm gonna make it. It just depends on the day and your energy. So, around year 8, I think it might have been a few months into 2020. I can't exactly remember actually. CV, I'm not gonna say the actual word because I don't know how YouTube does with that word, but CV came in, lockdowns came in. So I was grinding like most of the day. Basketball, training, film, gym, footwork drills. Like I was going all out because I had so much time, right? So at the end of that year where the lockdowns kind of started to go away, tryouts came back. And I tried out for it wasn't like a really good basketball team, one of the best teams in the state, right, that I wanted to make so I could hopefully increase my chances of making the NBA from scouts. So I try out for this team, I'm 100% confident I'm gonna make it. Because I've been training 3, 4, 5 hours a day, plus film study, which another hour. So 6-hour days when I was 13, 14, because I was going all in. I go in to the tryout. Long story short, I've explained this story a few times on my channel. I'm not going to repeat it. I get cut. I don't make the team. Simple as that. I'm not good enough. I'm just not good enough. My confidence, I went in, I was confident. I missed a few shots. I think I got blocked a few times and my confidence just went all the way down, because I was aiming for perfection. And that kind of fucked me up towards the end of the tryouts. So that happens. And I really think to myself, bro, let's be realistic. Your parents are smarter than you. Your teachers are smarter than you. Your friends are having more fun than you. They're living a better life. Because I didn't really go to many parties and stuff like that because I was very focused. Training. Listen to them. You're not gonna make it. You are literally just going to waste your youth if you do this. At least enjoy your youth, 14 to 18, and then you can execute your plan that you were planning to do if you did not make the league. At least enjoy your youth. So I kind of go ahead with that. I start, I just play video games all day. I do my schoolwork, and in lockdown that was very minimal because it was still lockdown, but you could do a bit more now. I was, watching porn 3 or 4 times a day because the high was massive and I was addicted to these massive highs. I was eating like shit. All the bad habits that teenagers do. I was literally doing them all day, every day for months on end. Because I got cut from the basketball team and I had no purpose. So I'm like, fuck it, let's just enjoy my youth. And then if I still want to execute the plan, let's do it. And the real ones will know what happens next, because I've told this story quite a few times, because I think it's the most important part of my life. It was. But I'm just gonna repeat it for the sake of this video, because there's aligns with it. I'm like, bro, there's gotta be something else. There has to be. There has to be something else that you can pursue other than basketball. There has to be. So I started looking back to my childhood. What did I love? I always loved basketball, or I always loved wrestling, but I didn't really want to be a wrestler anymore. It was a thought. It was third. It was the third thing I wanted to do. But the second thing I wanted to do was be a YouTuber. That was it. I wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to make content. It's either, I didn't actually say this to myself, but it was a realization I had. It's either the pain of regrets and just the pain of guilt and shame for the rest of your youth, or it's the pain of discipline and you pursue something like YouTube. And I think that's the first thing, that if you're ambitious but you don't really know what to do with your life, the position I was in when I was 14, that's the first thing I would do. Listen to a song that you used to love as a kid, or listen to a song at the period of your life where you were the most ambitious. For me, that was 2018, 2019. So I'd listen to songs from back there to really put myself in that mentality again. I would go to a place, which was my primary school, where I could really soak in that energy of my younger self. I would do that and just see how it goes. Yeah, I didn't want to play basketball anymore. I'm going to put my jumper on because it's getting cold. Yeah, I didn't want to play basketball. But the energy that I had towards basketball came alive again. And I was able to find something like YouTube. Reconnect with your inner child. I know it sounds fucking queer as fuck. I know it does. It sounds really weird. But do it. Connect with that higher energy that you have, and just see what your mind comes up with. Just observe the mind. See if there's anything there, and if there's something there, pounce on it. 100%, because it's better than doing nothing.
Fucking hood hair.
So I end up grinding YouTube. It's fun. I start with fitness content. I get a lot of judgment from school, people saying that, you know, you're giving up on basketball, what are you doing? Because I told everyone that I was going to make the league. It was a very hard thing to admit to people that I wasn't going to make it. I literally told everyone, like everyone that knew me in the school knew I was trying to make the NBA, because it was my whole personality. So it was very hard to admit that to people. So a lot of people gave me shit for it. You know, when I started posting content, I was the weird kid posting content. I was also the guy that gave up on his dreams, who told everyone about it. So I wasn't very confident in myself. But I knew that was better than settling for nothing. But there was also another side of me that regretted a lot about my youth. When I was 12 to 15 years old, and even what I was doing now with the YouTube stuff, with that self-doubt in my mind whether it would work out or not, because basketball didn't work out for me. I regretted a lot of my youth. Why did I even try and play basketball? What was the point? I could have just partied and hung out with my friends more and had more fun, and, you know, dated some girls that were very attractive and all of this. You could have just done that. And I had heavy regret about it. I had heavy regret when I was 15, 16. I turned 16, this is when people were getting jobs, around 15 years old. I had no money. I had nothing, because I was doing YouTube, and I convinced my parents to not let me get a job until I got this YouTube thing started. So all my friends were making money, they were spending their money, but I was working like 5-6 hour days after school trying to get this YouTube thing fucking working. And I wasn't very good at making content, so it wasn't really working. But if we fast forward 2.5 years, I finally started to see something. After grinding every single day, I finally started to see something. Now I went from gaining 10 subs a day to 20, 20 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 500, 500 to 1,000, to 2,000, to 3,000, to 4,000, to 5,000. I think it peaked around 8,000 or something like that. And I hit 300K in 90 days, I think. After being at 15K, and it took me 2.5 years to get there on YouTube. I know it doesn't really matter, but it's just a way to measure the progress. And it wasn't luck, because I posted, I think I was 1,000 videos at that point. 2 or 3 videos of mine had like kind of popped off a little bit. So those 2 or 3 videos turned into hundreds of videos blowing up. And that's what really kept the momentum of my channel going. So I remember hitting like 100, 200, 300K subs and looking back to my basketball days. It wasn't a waste of time at all. At all. I spent my whole youth contemplating whether this was a waste of time. I always thought it was, but it wasn't. Because basketball forged into me a certain type of character that I can transfer into any area of my life, and I truly believe if I put my mind to something, I can do it. 100%, I have 100% confidence in that. If I put my mind to something, I can do it. And I don't say that to brag, I say that because I set myself up from 12 to 15 years old. It taught me how to discipline myself, show up every day, despite how I felt. It's not really a mindset for me, it's forged into me because I put it into action every day. It wasn't a waste of time because I would not be here today if it wasn't for my youth, if it wasn't for forging my character. And the only reason I'm saying that, I'm not here to brag, I'm only saying that because whatever you're doing right now, you're very ambitious, I'm sure you're doing something. Yeah, you might not be doing this in 5 years' time, maybe you will, I don't know. But the character traits that you will develop, it will forge into you where you can, again, transfer that into any other area of your life. I transferred it back into YouTube and I was semi-successful with it. If I didn't have that character, I wouldn't have been. I can guarantee you, I would have given up a few months in. 100%. Your hard work will pay off. Assuming you are working hard. This is what I tell myself, my hard work's gonna pay off. Whether tangible, where in terms of money, in terms of followers, in terms of influence, in terms of whatever. Something tangible, or it's gonna be intangible, it's gonna be in here. That's where it's gonna pay off. Those tangible assets, they can go away. The intangible assets, how it forges another version of you, can't go away. So, 2024 hits, I'm at like 350K subs, I'm doing really well, I'm loving it. I'm loving, reaching a bigger audience. I get to, I think 1 million 7 months later, and then I get to 2 million, I think another 7, 8 months later. It was really good. It was a really, really good run. And I guess you could say maybe I'm still on that run, I don't know. But I believe I'm in a stage of my life where I relate to the title a lot. I'm assuming the title is going to be something like to anyone who is very ambitious, but doesn't really know what to do with their life. I can relate to that a lot. I don't really care about the subs anymore, the numbers. I know it's something everyone says. It's kind of cliche, but it's true. I'm only going to speak from my heart and say what's true. It doesn't really bother me because I've grown and I've matured. It's a good thing. But because I've basically built from 15 to 18 my whole life on numbers, I don't really know where to go. I've been contemplating probably the last 2-3 months. Was building this audience a waste of time? Do I still really see myself doing what I'm doing now in a year, 2 years, 3 years? I don't know, I can't answer that question. But I might not be doing it, and I could have just wasted my youth again. But no, I haven't wasted it. Let's say I stopped doing YouTube today. I would be a better speaker. I would be a better socializer. I would be a better persuader. I would be able to story tell better. Basically everything social skills, YouTube has improved my life tremendously. And I believe social skills is a very, very important skill. But no, it wasn't a waste of time at all. Because I want to be someone who is inspiring, someone who's a leader in life, in whatever form of leadership I go into. And those skills are very important. I forged the character in my 12 to 15-year-old. I built the foundation. And from 15 to 18, I built on top of that foundation. I built another layer to it. And now I can go out and attack the world with that foundation and not crumble. And again, I'm only saying this to you because we adapt as nature has intended us to. No one has it figured out. Everyone's adapting. Entrepreneurs adapt, athletes adapt when the game changes. Just because I'm in a stage of my life where I'm unsure directly what to do, it doesn't mean I failed, it doesn't mean I fell off. Everyone experiences it. And you might be in a stage of your life where you are in that stage right now. It's fine. You're ambitious, that's it, that's all you fucking need. It's all you need. You'll figure it out. As long as you actually get out there, you live, experience, and do your thing. I'm gonna work really hard because this is the point I am in my life, to live and experience. If I'm sitting in my room all day, fucking jacking off and doing all this, then yeah, of course, I'm not gonna get anywhere. I still wanna do YouTube, but I want YouTube to document my life. I don't want YouTube to be my life, if that makes sense. So I would start at the inner child, that energy that I touched on before. And if there's nothing there, there's literally nothing there, nothing. Live and experience. And this is a rule I give myself. Every single day while I'm in this stage of my life, I improve these 3 things. I get better with these 3 things every single day. Number 1, the body. I get healthier, I become more mobile, I become stronger, I look better. Because they all matter. Every single day I get better with that. Number 2, my mind. I grow my knowledge. I grow my knowledge in areas that I can say will be beneficial regardless of what niche or area or realm of life I go into. Persuasion, money, social skills, dating, whatever it is, general knowledge. And number 3, social, like the social skill. Getting out there, socializing with people, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, going on dates with people, whatever it is. Because I can't deny the fact that a better body, a better mind, and a better spirit will help me enough. That's me making progress, even though I might not have found my thing yet. When I do find my thing, when those 3 things are developed, mind, body, spirit, I can attack it with more force. I'm more developed. I've developed a foundation. And I've been very lucky enough to have built that foundation when I was very young. All right? If you don't have a mission, if you don't have a purpose, make it your mission to find a purpose. Simple as that. That's your mission. All right? So that's my message to anyone who is ambitious but doesn't really know what to do with their life. I'm in the exact same position, but I love it. Yeah, it's just a stage of life. All right? Much love, bro. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.